I'm Kojo Samuel, and I'm a music director. Nobody knows what that is, but just to try and clarify, a music director's job is to assist with the process of transferring a recorded piece of music into a live performance. I think one of the best ways to explain what a music director does is if you think about your big TV award show performance, what is usually going to be performed isn't going to be your standard 3-minute 30 version of your record. There's going to be other elements of it. It's going to be arranged for that moment. So that's what music direction is. It's about arranging music for a particular moment and making it kind of jump off the page. So if you think about the record as being, that's the 2D record which exists, which everybody's listened to 1,000 times, the live version of that can be infinitely different all the time, and it could be like a 3D representation of what that record actually is. What you're really trying to do as a music director is to bring interest to the song and the artist. The record exists and it's there, but you have to kind of bring it to life and educate the audience about what's interesting about it. Yeah, what's special about it. It's your job to just make them feel it. Another aspect of music directing is not just the musical side of things, but it's also the personal side of things. So you have to make the artist, the team, the management, the label feel comfortable about what you're going to be doing for a live performance. There's aspects of music directing that are basically psychology, really, and just life experience. Sometimes when I find people want to MD it too early at a stage, I wonder why. Just simply because anybody can knock up a cool little arrangement, anybody can play around with some stems, but dealing with somebody, an artist that's maybe having a really tough time, they might be having a nervous breakdown. You don't know, and they still have to perform and do a really important show. Navigating those emotions and those feelings and trying to just help make the show go on, so to speak, can be half the battle a lot of the time. It's actually more about how you deal with the difficult things as opposed to the easy things. I feel like the music is sometimes the easiest part of it. It's just usually dealing with people's anxieties and fears, You can be underprepared. Sometimes an artist might not have had enough rehearsal for whatever reason. It's pretty common before a lot of live shows. People, let's say somebody has a really important performance and they've lost their voice, but they still have to do the show. There's been many, many times that you have to sort of just reassure the artist that they're in good form. You have to, you might have to do technical things to make sure that they're supported. You might have to add extra backing vocals to the actual tracks. There might be a number of things you have to do to make them feel comfortable. And usually 8 times out of 10, once they get on the stage and they start, it kind of goes away, adrenaline kicks in and it's all fine. That can be uber important. You have one aspect of music direction, which is working with live bands. I would say like traditional live shows. But nowadays, increasingly as a music director, you might be working with backing track. You might be literally just editing. At that point, what you're doing is a bit more like production, mixing, DJing. You're doing a lot of different things at once because let's say you have an hour show and you're using tracks, you have to make that interesting. You don't want to do what I call like a Spotify show, which is just like stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. You have to kind of make things run together. You have to do interesting things. You have to add additional parts sometimes. So that's actually becoming more and more common where as an MD, you might be brought in to work with not necessarily a band, but to work with an artist on a performance where there isn't going to be a band, but you still have to add value. You still have to bring some extra sauce to it.